my parents don't have a retirement account. There's no 401k. There's nothing. Like, I've always known in my head that it has to be me. Right now, my sister can help, do whatever, but I knew it was gonna have to be me. So, I joined this guy, Todd, and a couple of the buddies doing supplemental insurance. I was like, dude, I'm gonna be rich overnight. At the time, I lived on campus, so when I quit my job, I also quit my housing, right? And I wasn't married yet. It was a whole bunch of stuff, but I was like, we're gonna be fine. I was at a 30% comp selling supplemental insurance, cancer, heart, accident, door to door. Won't ever forget my first day, Alice, Texas. If you've ever been near Alice, Texas. And more specifically, a little town called Rancho Alegre, which I was like, dude, that means happy ranch. I'm good. Well, there's not a lot of happy people in Rancho Alegre. I tried that business for a while. And honestly, I just wasn't really in the entrepreneurial mindset. People have succeeded in that business. I saw people do it all the time, but I didn't have the work ethic, the mindset, and the heart to really want to keep doing it. So I got out of it, started working for Enterprise Rent a Car. That's where I really kind of learned business. Love, hate it, whatever. I learned a lot about numbers and profit margins and all this kind of stuff. I still suck at it, but I learned a lot about it. And then that's when one day I invited Eric Kamadi over to our Riata pool, which is our apartment. And we're sitting there having a beer, and he's like, I'm like, hey, how's this other company? And he's like, well, dude, I may have this new opportunity. Have you ever talked to Eric? Well, hey, look, I have this new app, and I have this new thing. And like, shiny object syndrome is his thing with technology, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. And he's like, yeah, dude. And he told me about the comp and the deals. And I was like, well, shit, I'm about to have a baby. And I happened to look at how much daycare cost, and it was like $1,400 a pop. And I was like, there's definitely not $1,400 in the budget. So that's when I started. First weekend, he's like, buy these leads, call these people. I was working 60 hours at Enterprise, literally like 60 hours a week. I was a branch manager. So any lunch break I had or evenings, that's when I would call and dial, whatever. First weekend, I think I had 8 appointments, 8 or 9 appointments, sold 8 apps. Had no clue what life insurance was like. But I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And I was like begging for them to buy stuff, right? Called him up. He's like, dude, that's amazing. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're gonna make a bunch of money. And I was like, yeah, but that didn't hit my account yet, bro. So we gotta expedite that up, right? Long story short, it's kind of worked out. I quit that job. I've been doing it for 2.5 years, which is actually crazy how fast it's gone. Ups, downs, all that. I've gone through really bad periods mentally where I was like, dude, F all this. I've gone through amazing periods. So I'm like, dude, we can all do this together. So today, I've been kind of listening to everybody. I wanted to address a couple things. And I don't usually do notes, but it's a new goal of mine that I bought this really expensive composition book from HEB. And in here is where anytime I have a thought, I actually put it down. I'm going to call it journaling, but that's too official, right? So I never would have done this. So now I have a red notebook back there, and that's for all my clients. So that one's my client notebook, goes with me wherever, just because I like something about this, right? So I watched a little bit of your New York Jets on the HBO show, right? Hard Knocks. Did anybody see Robert Saleh, the coach of the Jets, and what he talked about in one of the episodes? He talked about there's 4 types of people, right? And he talked about it in athletes, but I think this goes hand in hand in our business. They're folks that are survivors, right? Anybody hear this speech, survivors? Those people do the bare minimum, but they never maximize their potential. Okay? They're contenders. Okay? Second group is contenders. These folks are motivated by outside fears. The fear of loss, the desperation, whatever it may be, right? Like money. But they don't always quite reach their potential. When they have it, they chill. Right? Once you no longer have desperation, and you obviously lack motivation, you just chill, right? That's honestly where I spend a lot of my time. Then you have people that are competitors, okay? They try to do their personal best, break PR records every single day. They want to be the absolute and utter best. These are the folks you want on your team when you're recruiting. You want competitors on your team, right? And the last one is called commanders. A commander is a competitor that knows how to lead all the other people.
Love it. Love it.
right? The problem with most folks in insurance, in a lot of businesses really in life, is we all stuck as survivors, right? Most people that work 9 to 5, just surviving. How you doing? Surviving. They'll even tell you, man, just barely getting by, right? Some of us are there right right? So which one are you, right? Which one are you? Which one do you want to be? Obviously, everybody's like, I'm a commander. The truth is, you're not. Look at yourself in the mirror. You're not. I know I'm not all the time. You're not just at one place forever, right? But I love what he said, man. I thought that really hit home. Because all we can control, the only person we live in, like every single day, like I can't control anything, my wife, my kid, nothing. I can only control me. I can only control my thoughts, my attitude, my actions. And a lot of times they suck. Right? I have limited beliefs, a lot. Okay, so that kind of hit home. I just kind of wanted to share that. I've also had a new thing with time. I heard this a lot the last 2 days. People are talking a lot about time. I don't have time. How many people feel like they don't have enough time? Right? They're like, man, I don't have time to call my client back. Well, I don't have time to, do X. I don't have time to do my workflows. I don't have time to dial the phone. I don't have time. See, I think my business changed a lot in the regard to sales, not because I know products better or because I even dial the phone a lot, because I should do more. The reason is because you don't have time and you think that the problem is time, right? If we're talking about what's the definition of sales? No and no, but yes, that's a way to get there. What's the actual definition of sales? Solving a problem. Right? Now, Nate, you're right. How we solve the problem is by caring. By, some people say, Cody said persuasion. Right? Whatever it may be, there's tactics to the sale. But at the end of the day, people click on our ad because they have a problem. Right? Same exact thing with time. Our problem is we're lying to ourselves thinking we don't have time. We just don't have our priorities straight. Right? If you literally care about something so much, it becomes a priority. Right? I don't give a damn what happens. You're going to make sure you have time. Right? If your car broke down tomorrow, right, and you had a doctor appointment or you had 7 other appointments at that time, but you know you needed your car fixed, what's your number one priority tomorrow? Car fixed. Getting your car fixed. But if you know you need to go get your oil changed, how many of y'all don't do your oil changes on time? Right? Let's just be real. We don't, I can do that later. I'm too busy. Well, damn, if you wouldn't have lied to yourself the whole time, your car wouldn't have broke down and now it's not necessarily an urgency if you would have just made your priorities right. Does that make sense? Yep. So many of us, man, are doing that, and I do it myself all the time. My buddy's like, man, I just don't have time to call you with the 2 kids. I'm like, no, bro, I get it. I'm just not a priority. Nor should I be. Right? You're married with 2 kids. Figure that out. I love you. I'm here for you. Right? Like, and we all get all emotionally hurt when, people tell you like, hey, I don't have time, or no, dude, you're just not a priority. But when the moment comes, I got you. Okay? So, psycho sales. Look, there's way better sellers in this room than me. I just try to simplify it. We'll do a role play. We'll do a couple things. I'll answer some questions, and I'll give you a couple bonus things that I think can help you. So the last day and a half, we focus a lot on our mentals, right? We've gotten some awesome software information. Nate, man, you really brought it. I think a lot of times yesterday, even last night when you weren't there, we were talking about that, right? It was like, man, like imagine being in that room and having somebody say, all right, let me think about it, right? We all get that. And most of us are like, man, don't think about it. I need the money. Right? How many of us have been there? Man, I don't need you to think about it. I need your banking account because I got to pay my bills. Right? But when you switch your mindset, what if you got that call the next week? I've gotten that call. Hey, my dad had a business card of yours. Says the insurance on here. Did he happen to have some? Yeah. Nope. I've only been doing this 2.5 years. I've gotten that call more than once. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, he didn't. Or he just canceled it. I had a daughter call me the other day. Hey, I need you to call me back. My dad called him. He didn't have anything. He had canceled it. And you know what pissed me off the most? I didn't even know he canceled it. Because I didn't make it a priority to care about my cancellations. Because I look at a cancellation as a chargeback, not somebody lacking insurance. Right? It's gonna happen. Economy's changing, y'all. We got 3.5 million people, right? Something like that have to start paying student loan debt. Well, they ain't pay that in like 3 years, right? That $300 they used to spend on that student loan debt is no longer there. So something's gonna have to give, right? So how I was sharing this, I was spending a bunch of money on ads, right, with Jack and them, and I was selling about $35,000 a month. I lowered that ad spend, I sell the exact same amount. It was just the way I approached the sale. So the only thing I care about now is what is the problem. That's it. Once I know the problem, we're gonna figure it out. So I'll write them down here, but if you wanna write them down, great. There's 7 steps, and we'll give you a bonus, okay? You can literally Google the cycle sales. You'll come up with a million different words and all those things. So I got kind of like a more professional word, and then I got like, hey, this is how we do it, okay? Number 1, we got a prospect. You can have the best product in the world. You can have Medisu, or what was that thing called? You can have all that great product, but if you don't got a client to sell it to, you don't got crap. So you got a prospect. You know why it's beautiful that we're here? Because Jack, Ramel, Arturo, they take care of that shit for us, okay? That's what we do this, okay? Otherwise, you're buying leads, you're going business to business, you're calling your friends and family, you're using social media. Prospecting is the hardest part for some folks, right? Leads. I need better leads. You just need more families to talk to. Eric told me a long time ago, man, I said, man, these leads suck. He said, a lead is just a family. It's a human being that needs help. I said, well, damn it, why you gotta get so sensitive? Making me feel like ass, right? So that's number 1, okay? They take care of that for us. Number 2, and this is one that's a shocker. You gotta make contact. AK, you got to dial the damn phone, right? AI is amazing, right? I'm a massive fan of Alex Branding. I love his high-level platform. It doesn't just have to be his. Everybody makes their own. I don't give a damn which one you use. I use that one because it's just easy. Gets rid of a lot of pain points for me, right? I don't have to do a lot. Like I can call him right now and be like, yo, what the hell's going on with this A2P thing? And he'll like, help me out, okay? He does 2 calls a day, all that amazing stuff, right? Branding gives us donuts, which I really needed, and all those things, right? So, but you got to make the calls, right? Tim, I don't like dialing the phone, bro. Nate, you didn't like dialing the phone, right? Todd, how often do you dial the phone? 0. Yeah, right? Derek, when's the last time you called the client, like just really for fun? Never. The last year and a half, because you have to at some point, right? Realistically. So I love workflows, right? I love automations, but the kicker here is not to just work smart rather than hard, it's to work smart and hard. We're using the wrong word in between. It's not either or, it's and, right? If you figure that damn thing out, man, life's gonna change. I already know that and I still don't do it, right? So we gotta call the phones. Look, AI will accelerate your contact rate, but the phones will put you way in the green. How do I know this? I didn't dial the phone for a year. I don't dial the phone still sometimes. But when my business wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, and I used to have 25, 30 appointments a day, and now I got 10. Yeah, my profit margin hasn't changed. In fact, it increased because I lowered some of my costs, right? It's like, how can that happen? I either got better at closing, and I was more intentional, which that was true, right? So AI is not gonna replace you, but it will accelerate the work that you do, okay? But you still gotta dial the phone. Power dial, whatever the hell you wanna use. Everybody's like, well, I can never get a hold of somebody. Well, the only way to get a hold of somebody is to keep trying.
Yep. Say it one more time.
Yeah, bro, like the only way, okay, so we're doing some coaching calls, right? And they're like, the first thing people ask me, Jerry, nobody answers the phone. I said, damn, maybe everybody's phones are broken. Are you sure you're dialing from a good working phone? Like the shit dials? Yeah, well, we got 2 problems here. We can either quit or we can keep trying. What's your alternative if you stop?
You ain't gonna make any money.
Buy more leads, bitch about them, complain, or you can just keep doing it. Hey, there are some tactical strategies. Hey, let's maybe switch the phone number. Let's make sure we register our phone numbers with all these carriers. Let's make sure we use maybe a power dialer that has a local number. Like all these things, y'all, but we just complain because they're not answering the phone. Yet I can give that same badge to somebody else. They're probably still gonna make money. It's not the badge or the whatever, you know, like it's just that group. Like you just gotta define. Number 3, you gotta qualify your prospect, okay? How many of us have been on a call for an hour, 45 minutes, don't admit to anything longer than that, but maybe longer than that, and you get to the end and you realize, man, this client doesn't even qualify for what I'm offering. And at the end of the day, you just want to punch yourself in the face. I know I've literally like wanted to punch myself in the face, right? They don't have a bank, they don't have a job, they're homeless, like Jesus. And you just wasted all this time. Oh, I'm not looking for me, I'm looking for my cousin that lives in like freaking Iraq. I'm like, what the hell? Like we've heard it all. So this is exactly where I ask, and we're gonna do a role play, but this is literally how I start every single conversation. Todd, you've heard this 1,000 times. Now, here's what's really cool about this business, okay? And our leads and our program. Todd can do his demo and his presentation is gonna sound totally different than what I'm gonna do. Derek's, totally different. Yetter's on another like planet, right? Yet we all still sell insurance, right? We all just do it a little bit differently. So for me, it's like, if I'm calling Arturo, I'm like, hey, Arturo. Hey, Arturo, how you doing today? Good, man. Hey, this is Jay Rufino giving you a quick call about that veterans life insurance appointment that we have. Is this still a good time to chat? Yeah. Yeah, awesome, man. Well, look, before I say absolutely anything else, I just want to take a quick second and thank you for your service, okay? And you're going to say, okay? It makes them feel awkward, so you just say thank you. I respect it. So let me ask you a question. Let me qualify you. What is it about my ad or this veterans life insurance that caught your attention? What's going on? That's it. I'm not, oh my God, you're from Georgia? I love Georgia. No. Some people will tell you don't ask how their day is going. You know why I ask? Because I actually kind of care. People will tell you when you ask that you don't care. I personally do. Because they tell me the day's going shitty. It may not be the best day to talk. Right? Or I'll say, man, what's going on? Many actual live presentations.
During a sale?
Yes.
A lot of sales training, they tell you not to ask it.
They tell you not to ask it.
The theory is it's a throwaway question. Like,
Yeah, you don't
can I
care.
help you find that something?
Because everybody asks.
To his point, they're looking at an appointment, maybe not, but when you're in a sale, I want to know all about their life, their day, what it looks like.
So for me,
Are you talking about in-person cellmate? Like
What about over the phone?
over the phone, dude. So look, for me, qualifying the client is really important.
Yeah.
So what made you click? And I don't say what made you click on my ad, because I click on a lot of shit. I say, what made you click on my ad about life insurance for veterans, or veterans life insurance, or IULs, or final expense, whatever, right? Oh, well, and a lot of them do say, hey, look, I just want to make sure I don't inconvenience, I just need something for my burial, my funeral, or I don't know what I have now, or I've been meaning to get some life insurance, or I want my disabilities up, or I want a will or a trust. Like, what's the problem? A lot of them, what do they say to you, Todd?
I just need life insurance.
I need life insurance.
Or I'm just looking for a quote.
Looking for a quote. I love quotes, right? I'm never gonna give it to you one right now, but we're gonna talk about quotes. So I need to know their why. And then now I know their why. And oftentimes I'll say, okay, so you wanna make sure your family's not, like I wanna make sure I have a burial or funeral or whatever. So I say, hey, Tim, got you. And the same exact verbiage I'm using, I use with them. Right? It's not this low and slow. Dude, I'm me. If it's not gonna work for you, see ya. Beautiful thing is we get a lot of leads, right? So I'm not too worried about that. So I qualify them right then and there. I already know the problem. Do you have anything in place right now that God forbid you wouldn't have passed away yesterday, your family's gonna be taken care of today? Yes, no, whatever. Right? My sales usually last about 15 to 20 minutes. from start to finish. Like, I just don't waste a lot of time. Now, Jack, yesterday, a client called me, right? I said, hey, Jack, we were on the car going to get beer. I was like, dude, I got to be semi-productive. 3 clients just called me. I put him on speaker. And the guy literally said, what did he say? Like, hey, Jerry, like it sounded, I was like, what'd you say?
It sounded like it was an old friend or a client you've had for 3 or 4 years.
The guy signed up like 2-3 weeks ago. He's like, hey, he called me. How nervous do you get when a client calls you? Especially 2 weeks after you sold him the policy.
Here we go.
Dude, I love when they call me. You know why I love it? Because he literally called me to tell me, hey, Jerry, I want to let you know my payment didn't come out yet. I'm like, oh, bro, if I remember right, I think we did it for the first, right? He goes, oh, yeah, shit, I thought today was the first. Literally. And most people be like, yeah, don't worry about it, everything will be set. I say, hey, don't worry, man. How's your family? How's everything going? What do you say? My grandchildren are coming over. My daughter and her son-in-law's anniversary is tonight. I said, dude, and I told him a little joke. I said, you know what's funny? I saw an ad the other day that had a grown-up parent holding a kid, crying, saying, man, I just remembered now I have to ask my parents again if I can go out at night. Right? Because somebody got to watch the kids. Right. So I just read that. I watched that, and I was like, dude, I told him. He starts laughing. And I was like, dude, anything you need, you or your family need, just give me a call. I think the difference, dude, is I actually do mean that. Like, if one of y'all called me, and look, sometimes I get busy, and sometimes I get annoyed, and sometimes I get frustrated, but I want to help. Right? So it was so funny when that happened. Once I qualify the client, what's the problem? Why do you need this? Right? Then it's now we're going into something that I don't think we do enough. We got to nurture the client. Right? Meaning, we got to love on them a little bit, man. See, most people here, when they turn on their sales hat, and they're like, okay, I need to use tactic 307. If I do the takeaway, maybe, or if I like found their ass. Well, I feel this, but I felt the wrong thing. Now I fucked up and don't got a sale. Right? Yeah. It's not FFL, it's FFF. All right? So the nurture process is me telling them what's my process first. Hey, look, Nate, just so you can get an opportunity to get to know who I am, okay? My name is Jerry Fino. I'm a life insurance broker. I work with pretty much every company you've heard of, except that 995 thing, the ARP, and the Globe Life stuff. I don't really mess with that, okay? Now, I do have access to VA Life, so I can definitely help you out with that. Do we all have access to VA Life? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a simple link you send them, right? We don't make money on it. We don't do anything. It's a hell of a lot of work for that client, but if they want to do it, I'll send it to them, right? So that's my process, okay? My job is super simple, man. I just want to make sure I put you and your family in the best position possible. Is that fair? Yeah, awesome, man. Well, look, let me ask you this, okay? Buying atmosphere question. Now, look, Tim, I have 3 goals with every single one of my clients, man. If I can find something that fits your budget and not a penny over, if I can find something you actually understand, Tim, most people don't even know what the hell they got, okay? And 3, I find a company that's willing to take a risk on you as a client. Is this something you would be willing to move forward with right now? Yeah, done. If they don't say yes, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Oh, I'm just trying to get quotes. Okay, no big deal. So, I mean, it sounds like you've been doing some shopping around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? So why haven't you pulled the trigger yet, man? What's going on, brother? I know how important this is to you.
Yeah, but it's gotta be a better price. It's too much money, man.
Dude, what have you been hearing? Talk to me.
I've heard like I can get like $500,000 for like $29 a month.
Yeah, how old are you again?
I'm 61 years old.
So let me tell you this. The answer to that question is you sure could. 27 and a half years ago, and it's called an accidental plan. Okay? Now, look, those are great, but they only pay in an accident, and you're no longer 20, now you're 61, so we gotta be realistic here, right? Now, look, Tim, with all due respect to you, is it okay if I'm 100% transparent with you, but respectful at the same time?
I prefer that.
Good. We're not gonna find that deal, so let's talk the real stuff. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your second one? You said if I can find something that absolutely fits your budget today.
Fit your budget.
Something that
Find something you understand.
Understand.
Understand, comfortable with. The reality is most people you call, yeah, I have something. Okay, cool. Who do you have? Well, I think I have $25,000 for $27 a month. And I'm like, okay. And some of them do have stuff. And some of them are knowledgeable. So I don't treat them like idiots. I treat them like, talk to me, what you got? What's your goal here? You trying to replace that or add to that? Replace. Okay, well, let's talk what you got. Add. Well, let's talk what you got. I need the ammunition to know what he's got, because if he has a really good plan from 5 years ago, and maybe he had a health condition, I'm setting myself up for total failure. So I'm getting to the objections right now. So, and I say, okay, and this is when once they say yes to those 3 questions, right? I move forward. The only caveat with everything I've said is in the very beginning when I'm literally figuring out, qualifying them. I say, hey, are you married? And our notes usually say yes or no, whatever. Yes. Hey, look, let me ask you this because I know exactly how my household runs, right? I want to make sure the chief financial officer is not upset at either one of us, okay? So James, what is the best time to catch you and your spouse together so we can do this in one big swoop and not have to worry about it?
About 5:30 now.
5:30? Now look, will today or tomorrow be better? You need to give a little bit of heads up?
No, today was fine.
You good? Now, is this something that you've spoken to your wife about, you guys needing?
Yeah, we talked about it for several months.
Okay, so she's on board, and now you're just looking for yourself or for you and your spouse?
Then I'm thinking about it.
James, do me one big favor, man. I don't want to be rude when I call your wife. What's her name? Tisha? All right, so here's what we're going to do, James. I'm going to put you down for 5:30 today, tomorrow, whatever day we agreed on. You're going to get another reminder and all that stuff. Can you do me a huge favor? If something comes up, which I know life happens, with you and Tisha's schedule, can you just shoot me a text back so we can find the best time? Because I know how important this is to you. Is that fair? Absolutely. Love it, brother. So this is my number, my personal cell phone. Call me anytime, before then or after, but I'll reach out to you then. All right, my man.
Jesus Christ, that's a beautiful job.
That's it. I mean, we just complicate it.
Yeah, but he's talking to him just like a person, like a friend.
I don't care who they are.
You're literally talking to them the way you talk to people.
Yeah.
So
no,
then he wants to talk to him. It's
Like,
you're
why would I-
a friend, not a salesperson.
Tim, why would you change your tone, your vibe, your energy, and be some robot? Hell are you? Right? And I'm paraphrasing here, but anybody see this? Yeah. It was epic. And Dion's like, dude, why are you not just yourself? Like, this is not you. And the guy's face was like, what the hell is going on? Because it was live, right? But it's so true. We try to be somebody we're not. Solomon, you're going to talk to them a lot different than I am. I got love and respect for a lot of people. Doesn't mean I don't love them or respect them. We're just going to relate differently. Right? If I get on an AJC sales call and I talk to maybe one of the potential clients, we're going to do it differently. Don't try to be me. I sure as hell don't want to be anybody else. Well, maybe AJ because he got buff, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's about it. I'm good. Like, you guys are good with what you bring to the table. That's what makes you unique, right? So once we get, let's recap. We got prospecting. That's why we're here. We got to make contact. Shocker, you got to dial the phone. You got to qualify your prospect. We got a good prospect. We're nurturing the prospect, right? We get through the 3 questions. We do our health and financial inventory, however you choose to do that, right? Hey, look, all these insurance companies care about is really going to be your age and your health, right? Talk to me a little bit about your health. I'm perfect. I already knew that. Let me ask you a couple more direct questions. Any cancer, heart issues in the past, and we go through that, right? Now, the big difference is here. I'll say, all right, Solomon, so let me ask you this. Where does your income come from every month? Social Security, disability, retirement, pension, whatever. And if you're married, right, and you're both over 65, or maybe one of you is 65 and the other one isn't, hey, Solomon, and I get the amounts for both of you. And I say, hey, do you guys understand how Social Security works? Most human beings don't, right? So I say, okay, let me give you guys just, this is just, no matter what happens, I need you to know this. Okay, and I say, okay, so, let's say, the wife makes, 2,000 and the husband makes 1,000. I said, hey, look, if your wife passes away before you, sir, I never say sir, but name. If your wife passes away before you, good news, you get to keep the 2 G's. Bad news is you just lost 1,000. Yep. Now I know things are a little tight. Imagine losing $1,000 tomorrow. And look, one thing, the government's not fast at a lot of things, but they cut that Social Security off real quick. Right? So you want to increase your premium, you need to show more value. If somebody tells you that, I just want to be cremated for $5,000, many of us have just written the $5,000. and we think we did them a service, and then we get pissed 6 months down the line when another agent comes and writes more insurance. It's because we didn't do our job. We didn't show enough value. People are willing to spend money if you show enough value. So, hey, look, Arturo, if something happened to you tomorrow, and Alex, like, what would happen, right? Okay, now you give me a scenario. Dude, she's gonna lose 12 grand a year. We need to buy her some time, brother. So yeah, we can get you cremated. That ain't no problem. Let's just say 5, 6, 7,000. We need to add as much as we could possibly add at that point to maximize our life insurance so Alex is not suffering. Does that make sense to you? And when the wife is there, how do you think that'll make you feel, man? That make you feel more comfortable? Hell yeah. Sir, how do you feel about her feeling like that? That make you feel good? Cool. Then you move on, right? And now you say, but they already have the checkout. Yep. Because I cared enough to ask one question. And sometimes they do know, right? And then I'll say, hey, you're 100% service connected, right? You've had it for so long, right? What happens if you die to the 100%? Anybody know?
Say again, you're 100% service.
So if you're for veterans, we got a lot of veterans.
I don't get anything unless it's pertaining to that disability.
Not always, not 100%.
Really?
Rule of thumb is usually about 50% survivor benefit if you've been married a certain period of time.
Even if they don't die from that?
Yeah, because you're still 100%.
Would you mind repeating that?
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
So I say, there's a lot of folks, right, veterans. 100%, anybody 100%? No. 100% service-connected disabled veterans, right? There's a lot of ways you can get there. Some of them are 90% with 10% non-workability or whatever that thing's called.
What does that mean? Whatever their money they're getting from the government goes 100% to their wife when they pass away?
No.
That's what they think.
Exactly.
But what that means is, if they've been married long enough, right, I know Social Security is 10 years. The service is a little bit different, but it's usually about a 50% survivor benefit. It's called survivor benefit.
I thought you had to pay extra for that.
You can buy into it if you're not 100%.
Okay.
So I could pay for a survivor benefit if I'm not 100% disabled.
So 100% equals 50.
For the wife. So if he's getting 4,500, right, 2250 or whatever that is.
They think it's 100. They think so she's still getting the 45.
Yes, but that's our job to become experts and educate them.
That's nice. That's good.
So I'm like, hey, look, now she's gonna lose this Social Security and 50% of your money.
What was your point earlier about Social Security?
That they need to buy her time because she lost $1,000
Yeah.
a month. She needs to they need to get $12,000 of coverage at least to give her a year to get back on her feet after the
If she gets 1,000 and he gets 2,000, and if he passes away, she gets his 2,000 but loses hers.
Lose 1,000. So a lot of times they call you, they're like, hey, I'm just worried about cremation or burial. A lot of times they're just worried about cremation or burial or whatever, right? And most people, right, Tim, others, hey, 10. You with at the end of the month. Nothing, $200, $1,000, $2,000, we've heard it all, right? So me, as an agent, if they tell me $200, what do you think I need to do? Way more than half.
What was the problem? How did you phrase the question?
So the question is, so after, so you guys get $3,000 a month, after you're done paying all your bills, taking care of all your duties, and hopefully having a little fun along the way, what does that leave you guys with at the end of the month?
$200.
Cool. I don't care what the answer is, right? So I'll say, maybe they have a need for, we all do. If we're on 65, 60, I'm 38, about to be 38 this month, okay? I want my family to have $10 million, $100 million, $200 million. I can't afford that shit. So what do we have to do? We have to maximize it. With that client, me, myself, I'm gonna shoot to them really straight. I'm gonna say, look, based on your health and your age, let's say they're okay health, diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever, based on what you guys are telling me right now, okay, we're gonna have to work together for a little while, and we need to start off with something. Because something is better than nothing. So, I'm looking at about a $40 budget. I tell them, look, based on my experience, what I've done with folks a lot of times, I really don't want to take a lot more than 10, 15, 20% of your leftover money. Because the brakes on your car are going to go out. You're going to need a new tire. And the first thing most people do is cancel their insurance. So I know we probably really want to have 20 or 25 or 30, but we need to start with 7. So let me ask you this. How do you think $7,000, and now let's say they have a bigger budget. A lot of clients have big budgets. We just don't ask the right questions. Some of these veterans got money, okay? Like, I got 3 clients this week that all want to spend $300. Good news is they want to spend it. Bad news is they got declined for everything, all right? Which is super exciting. So that's me going to work for them now. But whatever that thing is, I always ask, and I always usually phrase it like this, right? So you do your presentation, and I say, how do you think something like this, once I make the presentation, I'll say this amount for this amount. How do you think something like this fits your needs and your budget? Well, I know you need more, but we got to start somewhere, James. And I promise you I was going to be 100% truthful and like straight with you. Is that cool? And I say that all the time. My script sometimes goes a little all over the place, but I always tell them, look, I'm going to shoot it to you straight. If somebody tells me they want a quote, I say, look, I'm going to shoot it to you straight, bro. I got you. I'll take care of that quote for you, but I need a little info, right?
What if they say there's nothing left at the end of the month, Jared?
Then there's nothing left, bro.
Yep. Goodbye.
See, the problem is most people want to make a sale because they're dying to make that sale, or, you know, you need the money or whatever.
I wanted to hear that. It's time to move on.
If those people tell me, Jerry, I got $50, I say, look, I'm going to be super honest with you guys. Right now, with the budget you guys are carrying, unless you guys sit down together and figure out if you need to make some tweaks, I'm nobody to tell them to cancel their cable, bro. I'm not going to do that. I've heard agents tell me, well, I switched them from Spectrum to YouTube TV and saved them $200. I'm like, great. I'm definitely not doing that because I have another 12 calls I got to make in the next hour and a half. But I do tell them, because it's not my job to decide what's good for them or not. My job is to help put them in a better position. So I tell them, hey, Arturo, Alex, hands down, this is just not something that's going to fit your budget right now. And I'll go down as low as $2,000 with Aetna. But look, I can get you $2,000, which is going to buy you maybe 27 days, right? For $17 a month. If they can't do that, look, I'm here to help you any way, shape, or form, at any time. Do me a favor. Take down my number. When we're able to do this again, you guys give me a call. And I've actually had people call me back, which is the worst thing that can actually happen because then you think everybody's going to call you back, which they don't, by the way, Vernon. We can't help them, dude. Just like you want to sell IULs to everybody, right? I love IULs. I would love to sell IULs to everybody.
To everyone, Jerry? To everyone?
I would love to sell IULs to everybody that has a 2-week-old kid. That would change can you imagine if every kid that was born had an IUL or life insurance at 2 weeks? It would suck for us in the long term because we probably wouldn't have a job, right? But it would change the world. But we can't do that. I would love to sell it. The reality is most people don't qualify or don't have the discretionary income to do it or the patience to handle it, right? My IUL script's probably a little different because I do say those 3 things with every single IUL person, right? Hey, I want to be my own bank. Man, I do too. Look, is it okay if I'm just super straightforward with you about this? I know you've been watching the TikToks and the Instagrams and they tell you about all this great stuff. Let me tell you the truth. 1, you got to be in good health. It may be great. 2, you got to have some money. And 3, you got to have patience because trees don't just have dollar bills flying off of them. This takes time. There's no get rich quick scheme, especially with IULs. Is that something that makes sense for you? Yeah, I'm in great health. All right, let's talk about it. Yeah, I got discretionary income. How much? $25. But we've heard it all. I got $1,000. Okay, cool. Whatever it may be, I don't care, dude. I just want something for you, not for me, right? So I'm going to do my presentation. The presentation is literally me coming up with the plan that makes the most sense for them. How do you think something like this fits your needs and your budget, right? Number 6, objections. How many of y'all get objections when you sell?
So what was 5? You said presentation?
5 is my presentation. Literally it's the shortest presentation I think I'll ever make.
It was 4 nurturing, brother?
Yeah, nurturing.
Number 1, prospecting. 2, making contact. 3, qualifying your prospect. 4, nurture. 5, presentation. 6, objections. Now 6 could be one of the coolest steps or your biggest pain in the ass. And this one will tell you how you did your entire first 4 steps. right? If they're like, man, I got to think about it and talk to my wife, you then try to book the appointment with the wife first, right? Because if they say, no, I don't need to book an appointment with my wife or my husband, I'll say, hey, look, I respect it. I love that. Now, if we find something that fits your needs, you're comfortable with, and you understand, is that something that you can make a decision without your spouse being present? Yes, no? You told me yes. So if they say yes, what's the hiccup? Somewhere along the way, they didn't like me or trust me or whatever, right? Or they don't like the price. So I did a bad job. So do I get objections? Yes. One of my favorite ones is like, man, it happens all the time, right? And I see a lot of agents freak out about this. I tell them, literally, like, let's say we're done with the objections. They say, I have no objections. Let's just assume that for a second, right? The 7th step is the close. And the close literally for me goes like this. As soon as I ask, does this fit your needs and your budget? I say, awesome. Any questions about that? No. All right, Mike, so let me tell you what the next step is, okay? What's really cool about every company that I work with nowadays is none of them really require a physical or medical exam anymore. They're gonna ask you for some really basic information, your name, your address, your phone number, beneficiary, your social, because that's what lets them know about your medical stuff, right? And then after that, we're gonna figure out what day of the month works best. We're gonna get your method of payment, which is your routing and account number, and get that bad boy submitted. And then at that point, they're gonna say yes, no, maybe. And then we're either gonna stick with this, or I gotta work for you again. Any questions about that? And I smile a lot along that line. No, I got it. Makes sense. Or, why do you need my banking? Well, we do work some pretty big companies. If I have that objection a lot, right, there are some companies that we can figure out before we get to the banking. So if they're really hesitant about that, but most of the time that's not the problem. Why do you need this? They just need to know why. Yeah. It's not that difficult. Why do they need my social? Well, there's no medical or physical exam, so they got to make sure they can pull up your medical records somehow, right? So that's the easiest way to do it. That makes sense? Yeah. And then your banking, it's so simple. Once we hopefully get you approved here, right, well, they need to know where to take the money from, right? They need to make sure you're pretty serious about this.
I want to write a check.
Sure. Okay. Why?
I don't like things to be taken out of my bank directly.
Okay. Have you had a bad experience with that in the past?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. What did they do to you?
They cleared my account out.
Oh, man. Well, look, there's 2 ways that we can actually do this, okay? These are pretty serious companies. You've probably heard of companies like Mutual, John Hancock, all these other names, right? Aetna, Cigna, whatever. Let me tell you why they do it, okay? One thing that happens to a lot of clients is they want to pay by check or by credit card or direct bill or whatever. Oftentimes, your card will get hacked, or you forget to send the check or anything, and you think you have insurance, but it actually lapses on you. So doing it this way, Tim, is actually going to help you and your family make sure that this doesn't lapse. Now, 2, if you're really gung-ho about that, there is a company that's willing to do that for you, but they're going to charge you about a quarterly check. Are you willing to write that right now?
No, I can't do 3 months.
Yeah, man.
Maybe it's better I just take it out. Okay.
Whatever, dude. A lot of that shit is just an excuse, right? Like some people have done that, and I'll.
The social one's funny. I mean, I know this is your deal.
No, go.
It's helped me tons for the social security number was, which I did which I did like credit card processing and business owners don't give it, but like in the one question I always ask, I said, what do you need my social security number from? Okay, so when you were to pass away, and that check clears for $20,000, do you want it to go to your wife? Well, absolutely. Well, the only way they're going to be able to identify you is to get your social security number.
There you go.
You do want to protect your wife, right? Otherwise, someone else can claim that they're you. So that's what they use as an identifier. So that's helped too. But your other one was perfect too.
Dude, like sometimes they're like, I'll get to the social and they're like, man, how do I know this is not a scam? Yeah. Well, I do protect myself from that. I do have a veteran page that I send them a link to. It's just a landing page. I do send, I've had it before, okay, because they'll click on that page. It has my license. It has my national producer number. It's got a ton of pictures of me and my family, right? It has video of me talking. And if they don't watch that, I'll say, hey, no worries, man. Let me send you my state license real quick, right? And I literally go to NIPR, or I already have a folder, send it right to them. Let me send that over to you real quick so you can see that's my national producer number, right? You see this, your state, whatever. You see that right there? Cool. I also want to make sure it doesn't look like you get an opportunity to see my veteran page. I need to make sure you click on this before, right? Because I'm going to ask you for a lot of information. I need to make sure you know exactly who I am, because when the thing does happen, and believe me, it is going to happen, you and your family need to get a hold of me. So a trigger link is like, let's say I want you to go to ESPN.com. If I send you ESPN.com, I don't know if you ever went. Right. But if I send you a trigger link through Agent CRM that sends you and forwards you to ESPN.com, I know that you went there.
And is it, that bill will go high level?
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I'm not following that, sorry.
It alerts
So like, let's say
In the CRM, it just tells you, go ahead.
in the notification side, right on the notes, it'll say, hey, this person clicked this link. And it's like, I could see what date, what time, how many times they clicked on my veteran page. Where my report building really kicks in to overdrive is during the application. That's when I'm like, man, I see you in Atlanta or whatever, right? Are you born and raised in Atlanta? Nah, I'm from New York. Great, I need that information through the app anyways, and now I'm building a little rapport with you. Damn, what made you go from New York to Atlanta, man? Are you one of those Yankees fans? You like sports? I gotta tell you, man, every Alabama person I talk to, I tell them, I'm going to Alabama to watch this Texas game, okay? Here's what's really cool, remember that part. And I'll say, hey, while I'm doing the application, building a little rapport, I say, hey, Todd, so a couple things really quick I want you to know, okay? Right after we're done with our application, okay, you're gonna get a text message and an email from me telling you the name of the company, the exact amount, and what day the plan's gonna come out, okay? It's gonna let us know if we're approved or we're pending. That'll let us know right away, okay? The other thing I do for every single one of my clients, I used to run all my business in person, Todd. And as we know, the world changed a few years ago, and my world definitely changed 3 years ago when my beautiful daughter was born, right? So I try not to be away from her as much as possible. So what I do for everybody is I add you on my personal Facebook. I don't have a business one. Like you get what you see, right? Because I want to make sure that if you need anything, you can reach out to me there, phone, email, whatever. Now I also want you to get to know my family, and I would love to get to know yours. Sound good?
That's good, dude.
And dude, I had every client I had on Facebook. There's only been one lady that said, I like to keep my stuff private. I said, well, if at any point you feel like we can reach that level, here's my link.
So
one lady.
What are you writing a month?
35.
Why are you not writing 50 or 100?
Because I'm not working enough. I can,
Yeah, you're good. You're really good.
yeah, I can literally write, like I don't like to say it because it's actually a bad thing. I mean, he's noticed, I haven't been in the Zoom as much, right? Because I've been dealing with a bunch of other stuff. 30, 35, 40, 50, like.
Easy to write 100 if you just got focused.
If I just worked. But like, I got a kid, so I take my kid to school every morning. There's things I'm not gonna miss.
So Jerry, you really want to take care of your parents or not?
Huh?
You really want to take care of your parents or not?
Yeah, I gotta work.
So what are you doing?
So, no, so this is not an excuse. Now this is like the Jerry show.
Jerry on the grill. That's not why I was asking.
No, let me tell you why, okay? My dad got a lot of health conditions. My mom's got a lot of mental health conditions. My daughter needs a lot of help, and my wife's got some stuff going on. So, yes, I can help them financially.
I meant that to
No, I love you for that. I want to help my family. Eric knows my parents. I want to help my parents financially, right? But I'll never buy time back with them.
That's absolutely true.
So I can always make money. If I have to go bankrupt tomorrow to do whatever for them, I'll do it because I can always make more money, but I can't get the time back.
That's 100% true.
So I don't care. So yes, I'm probably working 25, 30 hours a week.
No, it's good. Yeah.
So yes, not something to brag about because,
I was honestly just asking.
yeah, that's why. So I add everybody, so real quick, I add everybody on Facebook. Every post I make, Leslie's brought it up a lot. Every post I make, I get a lot of feedback from, right? I'm not Cody level, come on. But I don't make posts for my brand per se. I make posts for my clients and some close family members that watch it. And when I said, hey, Texas versus Alabama, who's gonna win? If you go on my Facebook right now, the first 20 comments were clients. All rooting against me too. It was the best part, right? I post something about my kid, always the client comments, always. Not even my friends, right? It's easier for a client to become a friend than a friend to become a client.
Say that one more time for people in the back.
It is, dude, I don't care how big your network is, it is much easier for a client to become a friend than a friend to become a client. And it's,
You get referrals and a lot of retention that way.
that's it, dude. So I had a guy yesterday, I get people that message me all the time. Dude, hey, I need some Medicare. I need ACA, I need this, I need that. Help me. So real quick, the last step, okay, retention. Guys, we suck, okay? Right, we talked about it. So Agent CRM, write this down. If you use Agent CRM, great. If you don't use Agent CRM, you can still use this. Mailbox. What is it, Pro or Power? Power.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Anybody heard of that? All right. Does everybody use it? Raise your hand if you heard of it and use it. Mailbox. Nate, have you heard of Mailbox Power?
Mailbox what?
Power.
No.
Okay. So what a great way. So this is how simplified I have my client retention process. When I tell them, hey, you're going to get a text message and an email, all that does is I created a form at Agent CRM. I fill out that form, name, address, email, date of birth, how much, what company, what plan, right? And then it spits that out. At the same exact time, I have a zap to Mailbox Power that sends them a thank you card.
Nice.
I don't do any work for that. Automatically sends it with the same form information I sent. So all my clients are now in my Mailbox Power directory. In Mailbox Power, you can run all the automations you want. Hey, it's been a year, fall, Christmas, birthday cards, doesn't matter.
What's it do, like a handwritten, quote unquote, card for him?
You design it and
You can even send brownies, cookies, nuggets, gifts, clothes.
you can send anything. Mailbox Power.
And brownies to anybody that like it's a higher premium because it costs you about $8. So.
Yeah, I don't send them anything because diabetes is really serious right now. So,
You do have to watch out if you're diabetic not to send a brownie.
but Nate, what
You
happened?
can't really send them, it's like guaranteed issue policy, right?
Yeah. So here's what's cool though. Yeah, I wait 2 years to send them anything on that. So what's cool though is when my assistant, now here's the other back end stuff that people don't see, right? When my assistant or when the client calls me or I talk to them later, they're like, hey, I got your card, man, that was so nice. It blows my mind how many people say that. And I haven't changed the damn card in 2 years. Right? And I'm like, man, yeah, I just want you to feel good. Now, as soon as I get that, 2 days later, there's a workflow automation that goes out and says, hey, my name is Abby. Our assistant's name's Abby. Now, I did learn something really important from Nate. I don't think we should call her an assistant. We need a director of operations, right? Somebody that keeps me, so I love that. She handles all the shit I don't want to deal with, right? Literally, that's actually what she is. So she's actually my client retention specialist because she gets a lot of stuff back on the books, if it even falls. She sends them a text saying, hey, my name's Abby. I work with Jerry. Just want to introduce myself. I'll probably be reaching out to you to make sure you got your paperwork in the mail. 7 to 10 business days after that, 10 days after that, text goes out. Hey, Nate, this is Abby. I just wanted to confirm that you received your paperwork from the carrier. Anytime you do something on the phone, they always feel a little weird, not till they get the paperwork. And if they say, I didn't get it, hey, we're on it right now. We're going to call the carrier, see what's going on. Most of the time, they're like, dude, I already got it. Thank you guys so much. Love it. Thank you for the card.
It's great, dude.
Right? And then, like, Labor Day came. I've shared this with a few people. Labor Day came. I messaged all my clients, right? Even some that lapsed, which I love messaging. I love messaging the lapsed ones. Yeah. I messaged all of them just like they're active. Hands down. I say, hey, I just want to take a second here with the name and wish you a happy Labor Day, right? Once again, Jerry Fina, just super thankful that, you took a chance on me, let it be your insurance agent. Love you and your family. I just don't, people complain a lot about it. I just don't have a ton of it because I don't oversell, because I don't care about selling. I just want to solve a problem. Right. So that's the big thing. So yeah, man, just trying to figure it out. So I have a long way to go in the sales game. The change for me in the mindset, I used to want to know all the products. I used to want to have all the carriers. If I were to coach new agents right now, the number one thing I ask them is like, hey, why are you on this call? What's the problem? I can't close, I can't dial, I don't have leads. Okay, let's solve that. How we solve that is how you need to treat your clients, right? What's the problem with them, right? If I need a marker, I go buy a marker, right? If you sell all the markers in the world, you can sell me one. From there, you can get really sexy with it. Hey, this marker does this, that. Now you're upselling and using all those cool strategies. But at the end of the day, my man just needs a damn marker.
Or he needs a pen, you forgot to ask what he fucking
Yeah.
needs.
Huh? Yeah.
He needs a pen, you forgot to ask.
Yeah, sell me the pen. Well, here, I need you to sign this.
I got a marker.
Oh shit, you need a pen? Here you go. $10. Sell me a pen? Come on. It's not that difficult. We just overthink it. So, yeah, I just can't emphasize, focus on your damn retention, man. We spend a lot of money acquiring. Step number 1,
talk to them so much trying to get the sale. And once I got
Bro, don't people trust? They either trust you or they're questioning, right? People get buyers more usually 24 to 48 hours after they buy something, right? So that's why I want to text them right away. If I get a client that maybe I don't feel like really love me but it's questioning, I have this tactic. I do this with follow-up all the time. Grant Cardone, I always sign up to get sold something because how they're selling it to you is really what they want you to buy. So that's like a free trial for anybody. It's totally free. So Grant Cardone did it, and I did it with a bunch of people. Take out your damn phone, put it on selfie mode. Hey, Arturo, this is Jerry. I wanted to show you my office here real quick. I'm here to help you any way, shape, or form. I know you got to think about some stuff. Hey, look, I'm here to help. Anything you need, you let me know. If it's not with me, let's make sure we get you with somebody that's right. Hey, I wanted to show you the policy you just bought. Dude, I love the fact that you took care of your wife, Alex, man. That means so much to me. I was thinking about your situation yesterday. Selfie videos.
That's good.
Video sells.
So the thing with this is like, we're going from just like making a transaction, right, to like actually having a human interaction and accountability, right? And like all the things that he said are things that everybody's capable of doing, right? Just think about in reverse, you guys being on the other end of that. How this event made you feel, the attention to detail, the personality, like doing that. We get removed from doing some of those things with the herd mentality, just one call after another, one appointment after another.
Yeah.
Right? This is a people to people business. Right? And the moment that we start doing that, right, like sometimes your problem is in profitability isn't that you need to make more sales, right? You need to just
Keep the money
nurture on the clients that you already have.
There's two ways, right? I hear this at least with FFL all the time. When they say, hey, you need profitability to go up, right? They're like, just buy more leads, call more people, right? Evan, you heard that a few times?
A couple times.
Okay, cool. The problem is when you ask them, hey, how much did you spend on leads? How much did you spend on leads your Hall of Fame year?
$2,000 a week.
Okay. Most Hall of Fame producers have no clue what they spent because they just want to get to that title, right? There's two ways you could increase profitability. You can sell more shit or?
Buy more brokers.
What?
Buy more leads. Increase your skill level.
Cut cost where possible. How many of y'all, I am the worst at this. I got a subscription to God knows how many programs. And they're all like $10. I don't even know. Right? We did this with you, what, 2 sessions ago? Well, I don't remember what it was. Do you remember?
Office.
Yes.
Yeah.
His office.
Last year.
He told him how much money he could make from the office. He was like, I'm done. He cut that off so fast.
15-minute conversation. It was like,
Bro, I went to, so Derek and I went to his office. We're sitting there. And I was like, man, there might be some cobwebs. How often do you come to this shit? And he's like, walk in, you know, selling. He's like, I use it like once a month. What do you spend on this thing? Whatever. And I was like, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but sometimes we got to go 2 plus 2, right? But even if you go 2 plus 2, it don't need no trigonometry. No, you fucked up, right? You need to cut the cost, right? So.
No, but the big lesson from that was not, I mean, we all know, like, okay,
Yeah.
you get rid of your office, you can save some money. Like, that's not, what I think the connection on that was, how much premium would you have to sell?
That's it.
Like, you'd have to submit this much, that would issue this much, that would then advance you this much, and then account for whatever the 20 or 30% of chargebacks were. So you need to write this much premium. So get rid of that office is like you writing this much premium.
Right.
And then he was like, oh, that was the
Yep.
Because otherwise it's like, $1,200, that's like an app. Oh, bro, it ain't an app.
Yeah, the problem is everybody says it's just an app. Bro, but you just like got a credit pretty much for 67 apps, but you're getting 20. Right? Everybody's like, oh, it's just one app. I'm like, yeah, but you still actually got to write the damn thing, which means you have to work and dial the phones. Right? I'm talking to myself here.
How many phone apps do you have to cover all the ones?
Oh, dude, I got so many. I got like 100 apps I got to write tomorrow with the way my wife's spending money.
Isn't that funny how you start talking about what you can afford? It's only like 3 apps a month.
Dude, it's so stupid.
2 apps a month.
I say it to my wife sometimes. She's like, well, be quiet, go to your office and go write the app.
So yesterday I was talking to somebody, and everybody knows I want to go to the Texas-Oklahoma game next week. I hope you see me on TV. Well, you probably won't because I'll be way up top. And I was like, dude, them tickets are going to cost me like $1,000. And I was like, man. But I was like, but it's my anniversary weekend, and my wife says she wants to go to the game for our anniversary. So I was like, you know I married the right one at the right time because I don't actually remember the exact date, but I know it was OU weekend, so she'll remind me. But I was like, well, we got to go. So I was like, what's $1,000, right? It's like Before, $1,000 would have crippled me.
Hell yeah.
And when I say before, I mean like 2 years, a year and a half ago. All right, so Arturo wants us to do a role play, which will probably be 3 minutes because that's how quick those are. I mean, you can say whatever you want, doesn't matter. So I'm gonna just call Lee, assume this is an appointment already. So literally it's like, hey, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Lee.
Hey, how's it going?
Lee, this is Jerry Rufino giving you a quick call about this veterans life insurance. Is this still a good time to chat?
Yeah, man, everything, now it's still good.
Awesome, brother. Well, look, before I say anything, Lee, I want to take a quick second here. Just thank you so much for your service, okay?
Thank you.
Awesome, man. Well, look, I'll kind of keep this short and sweet if that's okay with you. So what is it about this veterans life insurance that kind of caught your attention? How can I help you best?
I just need to get some extra coverage. Your ad says something about not leaving a bill for my family, and that's exactly what I don't want to do.
Damn. Okay. I respect that, man. I got to tell you, a bunch of the clients I work with every single day have the same issue. So is there something recently that kind of made you think about that?
Just getting older.
That's it.
Just knowing needs to get taken care of.
I got you. Okay. Now let me ask you, it says here, are you married, single, divorced, widowed?
Single.
Single? Okay. So single, whatever state, what state are you living in?
Georgia.
Georgia? Okay. And then from there, literally, okay, sorry, my bad, role play. So, okay, so you're single, okay. So who would be the most impacted today? God forbid you would have passed away yesterday.
My kids.
How many kids?
3.
Awesome. Okay, so are they all over 18?
They are.
Okay. So I assume that's who you want to kind of do this for?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
don't want to, once again, I don't want to, leave that burden on them financially.
Gotcha, brother. So look, let me tell you a little bit about what I do, make sure that this is a good fit for you, and then we can go from there, okay? Cool. So like I said, my name is Jerry Rufino, based out of Austin, Texas. I got clients all over the country. I'm a life insurance broker. I work with pretty much every insurance company you've ever heard of, except those 995 ARPs and Globe Life companies, okay? Now, I do have access to VA Life also, so as a veteran, we want to make sure that we get you the best bang for your buck so we can take care of your 3 children. Is that fair?
Which one of those is going to be cheaper?
Dude, we're going to find out.
Okay.
So one of the things I can guarantee you, Lee, right? Can't guarantee a lot of things, but one of the things I can guarantee is I'm going to be 100% transparent with you. Okay, I've been working with veterans for a long time, right? There's no fluff or anything like that. So I, as long as I have your permission, I just want to be 100% transparent and respectful with you. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Awesome, brother. Well, look, there's 3 things I try to achieve with every single one of my clients, right? Number 1 thing we got to do for you, Lee, is we got to find something that's going to fit your budget, right? Otherwise, the whole thing's going to go AWOL. Number 2, we got to find something that you understand. Okay, I can't tell you how many people have no clue what they actually really have. And number 3, we got to find a carrier that's willing to take a risk on you as a client. If we do that here today, is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I believe so.
Awesome, brother. Well, look, talk to me a little bit about your health. What's going on with that?
I'm just got a little high blood pressure, a little cholesterol. That's about it.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like you're in pretty good health.
For the most part.
Good. I'm going to ask you a couple more targeted questions just to make sure. Any cancer, heart issues in the past?
Nope.
Okay. Any liver, kidney issues, HIV, AIDS?
None of that.
None of that. Any diabetes?
No.
No? Man, I can't tell you, man. So many people, all these people are taking like that Ozempic stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. That diabetes thing's out of control. I'm so glad you don't have that running through you. So now, do you have anything in place now?
Yeah, I got a little small policy I have right now.
Okay. Now, are you looking to replace that or to add on to that?
Probably to add on.
Okay. What do you have now?
I've got a $15,000 policy.
15. You know,
Globe Life.
With Globe Life?
Yeah, the one you told.
Okay. How long have you had that?
About 7 years.
Okay. Well, it's good you have that. I mean, you got something. I'd give you some props for that. So we're going to see about that Globe Life policy. If we can do some other things for you. Is that fair?
Okay.
Okay. Now talk to me a little bit about your budget, man. Where does your monthly income come from?
From military disability and my 401k.
Okay. What's your disability rating?
50%.
50%? Are you still fighting to try to get to 100?
Nope.
No? I know I talked to a last client a little while ago, man. It took him 23 years to get to 100. That's just crazy, right?
Yeah, it's just painful.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm good.
Yeah, okay. You're good there? Okay. What was the disability rating for?
I had a faulty grenade go off.
Damn. Did you lose any limbs, arms, nothing?
I lost sensation in my hand. So I got a big old huge scar that goes there.
You know what's crazy, Lee? Most people I've seen to have forgotten that freedom isn't free.
Yeah.
Right? So it takes folks like you to make sure that we're taken care of so I can do what I do today to try to help you and your families.
Cool.
That's crazy, man. So, okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the money. So how much is coming in per month?
I've got about $7,200 coming in.
Okay. Now, obviously, you got bills and all these things. Once you're done paying for all your bills and taking care of all your stuff and hopefully having a little fun along the way, what does that leave you with?
I'm pretty frugal. I've done pretty well financially, so I probably have about almost four
$4 grand
coming in.
Okay.
Staying in after bills.
Okay, cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about what makes the most sense. Now, do you have a mortgage?
I don't.
No?
It's paid off.
Paid off? Okay, so what kind of, I mean, you got 3 daughters. What's your goal with these 3 daughters? What do you want to do for them?
Just want to leave me a little piece of change after they bury me. I just want to at least leave something to say, hey, Dad was thinking about you.
So listen, a little piece of change can mean a lot of things for me to you. I know what it means to my wife, and it's never a good deal for me. Okay? So let me ask you, what does that mean to you?
I really hadn't given it that much thought. I just know I want to leave something. I didn't want to leave them nothing. You know, as I'm going out, you know, obviously I'll have my bank account, but I wanted to just leave a little piece of change. I guess it really depends on how much it costs.
That's it,
and
dude.
That's what I'm not really sure how much it's going to cost.
That's it. So look, based on what you shared with me here today, right? I think there's a bunch of different ways. Now, there's 2 questions that I need to ask you, Lee. Are you a smoker?
I'm not.
No. How tall are you? How much do you weigh?
I'm 5'9", 175.
Dang. I don't remember the last time I was 175.
I was 13.
It might have been a few years. So, okay. Well, let's just forget that part, Lee. All right. So, look, here's what I think, right? Based on your health, right? Whatever age, I don't remember what you said, but whatever age and based on your health, right? There are a couple options for us, okay? Now, I don't want to assume you know much about insurance or don't know much about, but there's 2 really kind of life insurance policies out there, right? There's term insurance and then there's permanent insurance, okay? Are you familiar with either one of those?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, what do you know about them?
I know term, they go up to like 30 years, and if the permanent you're meaning is a whole life, then to the best of my knowledge, it is one of those things that the policies are never supposed to increase in cost, something like that.
Yeah, did you just have an insurance license or something?
No, I didn't.
Man, maybe you should. No, I'm just kidding. Right, no, don't say that. So look, let's talk a little bit about that, right? So at your age, right, 60, I don't remember what you said, but at your age, right, I usually, in your situation with your home being paid off and all that, I don't like to go term for a lot of folks because there's no guarantee there, right? There's, I like to say, do you want to gamble or do you want to guarantee, right? A term in your situation, right, could be amazing because you get a ton of insurance for a lot less money, but you could outlive it because you're in great health. Yeah. Now, let's just be real. You know or I know when our time's going to come. Only the man above knows where we're going to get drafted to the big leagues. Is that fair? That's fair. So based on what you're sharing with me, I actually think going on the permanent route makes a lot more sense. There's a company you may have heard of, Mutual of Omaha, right? I do a lot of business with them. I think they have an index universal life product, permanent insurance, right? Really anything you got to worry about with a bunch of other benefits. Now, they can be really picky as to who they approve. So I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but I think based on what we talked about, that can make the most sense.
Well, is they going to do the same thing? Because I was really kind of looking for a whole life.
Yeah, so essentially one of the big differences between whole life and index universal, right, is they're both set up to be permanent life insurances, right? You can get a little bit more bang for your buck. Now, most folks with the IUL product or the index universal product just don't qualify because of their health, right? But based on bang for the buck and the health that you're talking about, yes, it's going to be something that's going to be there for you. It's going to have additional benefits, build some more cash value over time, but we're not really doing it for them. We're doing it for the life insurance component, right? So based on what you shared with me, right, pulling on my quota here, if we do, whatever, 100,000, 150,000, it's going to be, let's say we do 150,000, right? Based on, so each child can get $50 or 50,000, I'm sorry.
$50 is fine.
$50 is good?
Yeah, that's good.
You mean?
I didn't say I wanted much. I just want to leave them something.
So based on what you shared with me, right? But I'm always, so with the guy that's going to have this much money, right? I'm always going to say, hey, look, if we leave them 50K each, right? Make sure they can get going. And look, 50K in today's day and age isn't a ton, right?
That's true.
Right? So assuming budget is good and all that, $150,000 a month or $150,000 death benefit, it's going to be $350 a month, okay? Now, based on your situation and your budget, how do you think something like that will fit your needs and your budget?
Probably be okay.
Okay. Any questions about any of that?
No.
Okay. So 350 is not really a problem, not something you sweat up. Okay.
Not too much.
So look, let me tell you kind of what the next step will be. Okay. So the next step is once we figure out this is exactly what we want to go with, we're going to go ahead and pull up the quick application, right? I'm going to get your name, address, phone number. They don't do a physical or medical anymore because that's really not a thing we need anymore. Everything is going to be tied to your social, obviously, right? They'll put up your medical records that way. From then, we're going to go ahead and fill out your beneficiary information. We're going to set up your banking, right? Routing and account number and what day you want to start the plan. Okay. We're going to hit submit, and they're going to let us know yay or nay in the next couple of days. Cool. That sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
Any questions?
Not that I can think of.
Cool. From there, all I'm doing, my job is done. I'm just getting to know Lee. Lee, why do you live here, man? How long you been living here? Tell me your daughter's names.
Michelle, Cindy, and Mandy.
Cool, man. Which one's your favorite?
All 3.
Come on, man. Don't lie to me. They're not here. I'm not going to tell them.
They all 3
right?
babies.
And then that's when you have fun. See, you can have a little bit of fun along the way. Hey, which one's your, I always ask, hey, which one's your favorite? right? I think the only person that has openly admitted that they have a ranking is Deion Sanders. All right? Most people don't rank them. But that's that right here, this part, everybody's like, okay, I'm just going to write the app and move on. This is where I bridge my gap.
It also helps
This right here is done.
while you're opening the app.
I already got the hard stuff done, right? He got a $4,000 budget, right? He's pretty good health. I can go and break everything down for him about the IULs and all this crap, right? You can use it with the easy solve solution. You can really use an IUL as a final expense plan. Okay, people are just not dumb. They think it's only for like, you can easily do that. I do it for 60-year-olds all the time. Nobody's gonna replace my business. If I hit you with a $50,000 or $25,000, 65-year-old, healthy IUL, nobody's gonna replace that business, right? Now I'll say, hey, look, and that's when I'll let him know. I'm like, look, Lee, at the end of this, you're gonna get a text message, an email from me. Now, one of the things I love to do for all my clients, right? The world changed a few years ago. My world changed 3 years ago with my daughter. I love to add everybody on social media, okay? So if I find you, I'll send you a Facebook friend request. Is that cool?
That's cool.
Awesome. And then I send all this out. And then I'll say, hey, look, I'm going to hit submit here. And we get the emails and all that. I'm going to hit submit here, okay? If for some reason, Lee, they don't approve us, it's not the end of the world. That just means I got to go do a little bit more work for us, figure out what the next plan is. And I can tell you already, Lee, I got a plan B, plan C, and plan D. Don't worry about it. That sound good?
That sounds good.
So now you set the expectations, because IULs do say no to a lot of people, right? That's the scariest part. I used to hype up the shit out of them, and I'm like, yeah, 100,000, 200 bucks. Hey, by the way, they said no, so you can only get 30,000 for 200 bucks. How's that? And they're like, go to hell. I love you, Jerry. You seem like a cool guy. I'll keep your friendship, our friendship together on Facebook. But nah, I'm going to go with Globe Life. Now, I'm not even going to touch Globe Life. He's had it for 7 years. He doesn't seem to have a money problem. I could sit there and bash, but that's just telling him he makes bad decisions. Man, Globe Life sucks ass. Why do you got him? I don't, dude, he's good. Now, if his budget was different, or he just got it a week ago, or maybe even a year ago, and we can get him like immediate, great, let's do it. But don't bash people's decisions.
How do you get that conversation going? Because I run into so many clients that have those bad policies.
Yeah.
What are you saying in order to get them into that spot?
What do you know about Colonial Penn, ARP, Globe Life? That's the problem. Okay, what do we know about them?
They go up every 5 years?
Okay, we know a lot about them. Okay, 995. I said, man, I have. What about that 995 plan? I'm like, man, yeah, that sounds amazing. Have you? Hold up. That sounds amazing. Have you called them recently? And some people tell you that's just a fraud. And I'm like, hell yeah, it is. So look, let's give them a call if you want. We're gonna hop on a call with them. They're gonna tell us it's $995. You can get up to $1,000 because insurance used to be sold on units. Well, they're still in that era that I don't even know how long ago it was. But you can get one unit for that amount. Let's say you actually qualify for the maximum 1,000. It's going to cost you $100 to get $10,000. And it comes with a 2-year waiting period and all those things. ARP, right? ARP sounds great. It starts off super low. If you get the term, it's going to go up in price every 5 years. It's actually a lot like VGLI, right? Why not? The older you get, the more your cost is fixed. Why do we need something that's going to keep going up in price? Usually ends at the age of 75 or 80. Globe Life, 2-year waiting period, ends at the age of 80. If something sounds really good to be true, it's probably not always fully true. Well, except Arturo, obviously, in this program. But that's how I come about it. I'm like, hey, when did you call them? Have you called them? You already had it? How long have you had it? Man, sometimes we don't even need to argue. Because if you simply just ask, hey, are you looking to add or replace? Add. Shit, let's not even talk about that right now. But you know what? That's a bullet in my gun for later on when I'm like, hey, how much did you pay for it? I got some ammunition now. Dude, I pay $50 for that. I can only do another 50. Well, shit, what if we do 100, right? You just got that a year ago. We can replace that crappy plan, and now you can get double the coverage, but starts today. That's a no-brainer, right? And it's sometimes those little words afterwards that get you there. That makes sense, right? That's a no-brainer. Man, I think your daughter's gonna love this.
All Globe Life is a 2-year wait?
Yeah, it suck. We used to work for the company. I don't claim their ass. I was hoping he would have hit me with that.
So did you?
But it's a little different because we didn't really sell. I didn't sell a lot of life insurance at all.
No.
It was like cancer, heart, Aflac stuff.
Company.
Yeah.
Globe Life, National Income Life, or American Income
Global
Life?
Life owns all those companies. Family Heritage, AIL, Liberty, or no,
I don't know. Where's Eric? He knows. He's like.
I can't think.
United Tribute.
Come back to me.
So there's a bunch of these plans out there, y'all. Like,
Liberty National.
but this is where I challenge y'all to become professionals, right? If they give you the objection, well, I have ARP, and it costs $100,000, cost me $42 a month. That should shoot off some red flags. But you have nothing to return if you don't know what they have. So go to ARP's website and review it. Like, it blows my mind. They're like, how do you do this? I'm like, well, agents, right? Who said that agents call them all the time? You did. Agents call you all the time. Yeah, so, okay. Do you have your phone on you? Yeah, okay. So open up the web browser and click Google. And then when you're there, click whatever the hell you want to know. And tell me what it says.
They got it arranged in alphabetical order, just
And now it's even better. Click Chat GPT and literally ask them what you want. In fact, let me know what they say afterwards. I'm intrigued. Can you send me the screenshot? Just empower people to take action. It's not that difficult. But if you do it for them as an agent, you're going to be doing a lot of stupid shit for them for their entire career.